Guts in action. This robot demonstrates a robot that carries a rubbish bin for landscapers or gardeners and collects rubbish from them. So the user will hold this device called a pod, which sends out an ultrasonic signal, and the robot has an array of ultrasonic sensors on it which pick up that signal, and they all get a different reading, and by way of trilateration they'll calculate the exact X and Y coordinates of the person relative to the front of the vehicle and then drive towards them. If they're too close, it will stop. If they're further away, it'll speed up and follow them. There's also obstacle avoidance sensors on the front, IR sensors, so if something runs in the way of the vehicle will stop. Up the top we have a user interface with a power button, a follow button, some LEDs and an LCD screen which gives feedback such as the status of the vehicle, any error messages if there is one, voltage of the battery if there's a low voltage, give you a warning, and other options for the user. And on top an emergency stop switch in case there's an error with the vehicle and needs to be quickly stopped. The electronics of the vehicle are underneath, and they control all the motor control or the sensor calculations and determining the path the vehicle needs to take. The vehicle is powered by 2 motors, as you can see under there, and differential speed steering is used, so the speed of wheels on each side are altered to make the vehicle turn left or right. The vehicle has 4 wheels at the moment in this configuration. Both sets are pneumatic rubber tired wheels, which are better on outdoor terrain, a bit more forgiving, give a bit more traction, and they won't damage the lawn or any of the client's property for that matter. On top is where the bin is held in this arrangement. This is called the gimbal system. Basically the bin sits inside a cage and supported, and there's enough room under there for the person to get their hands under the handle of the bin. This system allows the bin 2 degrees of freedom, so in the roll direction of the vehicle and the pitch direction of the vehicle. This means that whatever terrain the vehicle goes on, be it a terrain sloped in the pitch direction, one in the roll, or in both, so as if it's driving across a hill, that bin can swing inside the frame and remain vertical at all times, which ensures the stability of the vehicle and will try to prevent it capsizing. So that's a description of the vehicle. Now we'll show you it in action. So the bin's quite full at the moment with the rubbish, and the landscaper needs to go and collect some other bits of rubbish piles around the yard, and one in the distance over there which you may not be able to see. So they're going to walk to these piles, and the robot will follow them after the user switches on the pod on the back of their belt. The robot will follow the landscaper to the pile of rubbish, where they can pick it up, and the bin is then in close proximity to them to easily put it in. They don't have to walk back to it, and they didn't have to carry this full and heavy bin all the way that distance. So they switch off the pod just in case there's some error signals, or the robot thinks the user's walking away and will start moving, drive into them. Then they pick up the rubbish and place it in the bin. And they switch on the pod again, signalling they're ready to go again, and they'll continue walking to the next pile of rubbish. Now we're in an environment of fairly long grass, medium sized grass, and we lost a branch then. As you can see, we're going down the hill, and you can see the gimbals in action. They are actually tilting to allow that bin to remain vertical. As you can see, the bin is on a slight slope, the vehicle's on a slight slope, and those gimbals allow that bin to stay vertical. Now the user is approaching the second pile of rubbish, and the pod will approach the user to a comfortable distance. Stop, and then the user picks up the second pile of rubbish and places it in. Now the bin's quite full, the user needs to go and empty it. So all they do is, in the same process, turn on the pod and walk back to the larger skip bin or another bin, the ute or whatever they want to empty it into. They'll walk back, stop the vehicle in the same manner, and then lift the bin out and empty the bin. And that's how guts works.